Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Just wanted to take a few minutes to catch up with you on some things. It's Saturday, June 5th, 2021, and it is ridiculously hot today. I don't know how it is where you are, but I'm in the land of 10,000 lakes, and I think it would be hot even if I jumped in the lake today. The temperature here is currently 99 degrees Fahrenheit. You heard me. 99 degrees Fahrenheit. And I was out walking back home, trying to get some extra kitty litter and stuff for my cat. And excuse me while I drink because it's important to stay hydrated today. This is my one of my water bottles that has a Brita filter in it, but I also have the Travel Berkey, which I'll do a review on the different water processing systems in another time. So I was on my way back from the store and it was just so hot. It was just ridiculous. And I was wearing all white, you know, darker colors draw the heat, so they say, and the lighter colors don't. But even with the breeze was so hot, it was just ridiculous. That's why I had to take my ponytail out because I'm sweating anyway. Days like today make me want to stay in because the heat is so intense. And where I live, I don't have air conditioning. Usually that's not a problem for me because I used to have twin fans in my windows that will circulate different ways when I lived in the apartment. But then since I've moved here, when I moved to where I am now, I got so tired of moving stuff, I just said, forget it. And everything else that was left, I said, throw it away. And the Got Junk people came and they tossed all of that stuff, including my two boxed brand new twin fans. Well, I had only used one season, the other one I hadn't used at all. So it's hot. And I've got ceiling fans, and I know people say you can flip the switch and make it reverse and go the other way so that it's drawing the heat up or whatever. But it's 99 degrees. 99 degrees. And I tell you something, here in Minnesota, which today I did buy the Honeywell TurboForce power fan. It's a smaller size, has a 1 year warranty, and you can feel the power up to 25 feet away. It does work because I tried it out in the store. Um, they didn't have a lot of options in the store. I'm sure people were just running to get fans or whatever. They had less than 10 in the store. And I was hoping to get that little Arctic cooler thing and try it out, but there wasn't none there. But anyway, Minnesota being the land of 10,000 lakes, there's water everywhere. There's a lake, I mean, like literally you go out my door and look to the side, you can see the lake and walk over there. But I'd melt probably in the process of walking from here to there. And I wouldn't want to get in the water. I'd rather be in indoor swimming pool type water, which right now my issues with germs are heightened. But in the lakes this year, well, within the past week, there have been, in my area anyway, in South Minneapolis, there have been brown jumping worms in the lakes. And some people like to take their dogs to the lake and the dogs will run out in the water and drink the water and swim and all of that. But there are brown jumping worms. I didn't know there was such a thing, but there is in Minnesota lakes anyway. if you're ever flying in a plane and you're going over Minnesota, or if you're about to land in the Minnesota at the airport, look at the water. What do you see from above? A lot of algae, a lot of stuff. It's not like ocean water. Ocean water is all beautiful blue and green and crystal clear. Minnesota has more than 10,000 lakes, even though they call it the land of 10,000 lakes. And a lot of that water is kind of like swamp water. I'm not trying to be offensive. I do live here. I'm just trying to keep it real, be honest. It's not the cleanest water. Um, and I learned that when I first moved here because people would say, after you get out of the lake, make sure you go take a shower or you might get the swimmer's itch. And I was like, what's the swimmer's itch? Well, it comes from these little creatures that are floating around in the water, hanging out with the fish and everything else. So there is the swimmer's itch. So water is essential, especially on days like today when it's so hot that it's unbearable. It's important that we drink enough water to help us get through each day. Our bodies are mostly comprised of water. We do need to drink a lot of water. And a couple of years ago, I met this man at the global market, and he was blind, and he was sitting at a table, and he had all these bottles of water there. So, I was curious, and I went up and I introduced myself and said, what's up with all this water? He said, most people don't understand how important it is to drink enough water every day. He, in the past, did not drink water regularly. He'd go for the soda pop all the time, lots and lots of pop, 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 pop. And he started having some health issues, and now he's blind. And his doctor told him that, it's okay to have a pop here and there, but he'd been a lot better off if he drank more water because water is cleansing, and as I said, it's something that everyone needs to survive. You can go a longer amount of time without food than you can without water. After 3 days without water, your body is going to start to shut down, and that just won't be good for you. Hopefully, you guys are preparing, or at least in the place of being mindful and having some water stored in your refrigerator. It doesn't mean you have to go out and buy a zillion bottles of water because I've done videos on food recalls and how there are some even some bottled water companies that have had their water recall, like the real water. Hopefully that whole situation is working out for those that have become sick from that water. But trying to have the best quality water you can is important. Some people get the Brita pitcher, and as I said, this is a Brita water bottle where, if I can unscrew it properly, there's a filter that is made in there. You can just fill it up with your water wherever you're at and keep going. That's good for water on the go. If you have regular water bottles, cool, fill them up. Keep as many as you can in the fridge. If you do volunteer activities or have volunteer opportunities and they say, hey, would you like we can't pay you, but we can give you a free water bottle, take it. Try to get as many as you can to be able to store up a little extra water in your refrigerator so you stay hydrated, especially on days like today. And as I mentioned, I have the travel Berkey, but I'm going to talk about that more on a separate video and about how I came to deciding to get that and just my product review of Travel Berkey. And I'm not a sponsor for anyone that I've been giving a product review about. I'm just a consumer, someone who has needs and went out and got that thing that I needed and it works for me. Like that fan is really working for me right now because, like I said, I don't have air conditioning. So my windows are closed. 99 degrees outside. I have room darkening curtains in my living room, which they're open right now because I'm growing some kale and Swiss chard and some tomatoes and things indoors. Um, and when it's really cold out, or if it gets so oppressively hot that it feels like the heat is starting to come in, then I would close those curtains because they would block out that heat, they block out the excess light and the noise, and it helps me be more comfortable in my home. In my bedroom, I have the blackout curtains, which are darker than the room darkening curtains that I have in the living room. The dark blackout curtains help me to sleep better at night because I can get easily distracted and wake up. I'm one of those people that there can be any little random light going by, or car going down the street, or horn honking, or helicopter overhead, which we've had a lot of in the past year. And if I have those curtains drawn, it doesn't affect me as much. It's kind of like those comfort blankets that they have for dogs and that become, nervous and anxious whenever there's a thunderstorm and the thunder is growling and everything, or for cows that become really anxious, they put that weighted blanket type thing on them and it helps them to calm down. The room darkening curtains helps to put my mind in that mode of, okay, it's time to relax, it's time to get some rest, time to go to sleep. But having plenty of water, especially before you go to bed, because even though you're asleep and your eyes are closed and maybe you're dreaming or not dreaming or whatever, but your body still needs water to be able to process the things that have been brought into it through the day. So if you can drink some water before bedtime, that would be even better for you. Better than hot chocolate, even though I like having the hot chocolate or hot cocoa. I really prefer to have the regular raw hot cocoa without the added sugar. Um, but water and staying indoors when it's super hot like this. For people that are outside and don't have access to adequate shelter, hopefully they can find a sheltered spot or a covered spot at a park, or find some amount of shade in the neighborhood wherever they are. If you start to feel lightheaded or dizzy, stop and sit down for a minute because heat stroke could happen and that is a very serious thing and you don't want that happening either. But I just wanted to check in for a minute and tell you it's a hot one. And even though, as I said, it is currently 99 degrees Fahrenheit where I am right now, by Monday, it will be well over 100, according to the newscasters. So our planet is going through a change. Um, a lot of this may have to do with greenhouse gases, but I am not scientific enough to tell you. I know what I've read in books, and I know what I've seen in lectures, but I also know what I feel and what I see right now, what I'm experiencing right now. This is not normal. In all my years of being alive, This feels more like what they call the dog days of summer, at the end of summer when it's so ridiculously unbearably hot. And here we are, beginning of June. A week ago, it was cold. It was like 30 degrees. Sounds like very much like last days. Um, Hopefully, people are prepared though. Hopefully, you have enough food at home where you can put together something to eat, even if it's not really what you're feeling up to eating right now. You don't have to go out and try to get something to eat outside the home right now because it's dangerously hot. Yesterday there was a heat advisory where I am, and there was also an advisory for people who have breathing issues. So the weather has been really, really unbearable. So I hope that you all stay safe. Try to stay in the shade or where it's cool. Stay indoors. Do whatever you got to do. Um, Drink plenty of water if you're able to. Um, if you're out and about and you're really hot and you're passing by a gas station and you got a little change in your pocket, uh, go in the gas station. If you can't afford a bottle of water at the gas station, ask them how much it costs for you to get a big cup full of ice. Because guess what? Ice melts and becomes water. And if you can get one of those big gulp cups from the gas station full of ice for 50 cents or whatever, then you can either eat the ice or let it melt, which on a day like today will not take very long and it will become water. Um, I'm sure they're having their icy sales at um, Super America or Speedway or 7-Eleven or whatever place you may be around you. But try to seriously take care of yourself and stay cool as much as you can. Hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon.